So national income accounting continued. Welcome to this class again. And in this, as I left in the last class, we talked about productive and non-productive activities. Just make a distinction between the two, because throughout when you're doing national income accounting, you have to keep this in view. So I want you to just go through this. Not very difficult. It's very interesting. So productive and non-productive. Now, what are productive activities? So, before we do that, so if we want to develop a framework of national income accounting system to measure the national income of a country, or in order to understand the growth and stability of the nation, of a country, of a nation, it is desirable that we should understand what transactions contribute to it and what transactions do not contribute to it. So for this purpose, we have to make a distinction between productive transactions and non-productive transaction activities. So let's just talk about this. Let's take productive activities. Out of the millions of economic transactions, only those transactions are classified as productive activities which contribute to the flow of goods and services in an economy. So that's what it is. Now, talking about non-productive activities, all other transactions of an economy are known as non-productive. Now, what are these? These transactions are mostly those which do not contribute anything to the flow of goods and services. They are simply means of redistributing among the different members of the community the goods and services produced in the economy. And these are also known as transfer payments. So what are these? They are transfer payments. You're transferring the benefits from one place to another. It means that these are simply transfers of purchasing power from one hand to another, and in no case these add anything to the current output of goods and services. So like, for example, I can give you a very simple example, day-to-day example. The pocket money that you're getting from your parents at home are nothing but it's just a transfer. It's not your income, or it's just out of their income they're giving you a certain amount of pocket money. So in the same way, so that's a transfer payment or transfer income. So this is absolutely a basic concept of national accounting, and any misunderstanding in this respect may be responsible for errors in economic diagnosis. So the main reason for this error is that the dividing line between the two is not at all that clear, since it is essentially arbitrary. Sometimes you just decide what it is. So for example, let's take an economic example of transfer payment. A very clear case of a transfer payment is a payment of old age pension. Pensioners are not required to produce some goods and services in return of their pensions, though they are basically deferred payments. So now this pension we are talking about given by the state. So these are transfer payments. So another thing that we have to see is national income accounting is also concerned with the functional relationships of the various transactions taking place in the economy. And for this, we have to, on the basis of the types of activities that we mentioned above, we can identify three classes or groups in an economy. They are the producing sector, the consuming sector, and the government sector. So based on that, we also have what is known as that how we have an interrelationship and an interdependent of various productive activities as production, consumption, and capital formation within these three. You can see that. So production takes place, and it is the capital formation, the investment that goes in to produce goods and services. And then production depends upon consumption. Consumption also sometimes is based on what's there for you. And then production, consumption, the difference between what you save, it goes for investment. So consumption, the difference in production and consumption is used in increasing the production capacity, roughly. You can understand this, or you can make a better flowchart to make this very clear. So basically what we've seen is that there are productive activities and non-productive activities which are so important, and transfer incomes. We're talking about transfer. So which do not get added up in the goods and services stream. So you can get a question as what is the difference between productive activities and non-productive activities, or what do you mean by transfer incomes?